government is undertaking. We are responding to what we promised under the big push only. We have more projects than I'm going to mention, which are all going to start concurrently. So don't worry if you don't hear Adaklu in the list. Big push is bigger than dealing with the problems of Adaklu. So let me mention some of them. Construction of a new bridge over Oti River at Dambai. And God willing, these projects I'm mentioning, within 3 weeks, God willing, we should see many of them starting on site, not a promise. That is the Dambai Bridge, the rehabilitation of Wahan Road. But before I continue, what we intend to do is to reconstruct the road between Wa and Bolga completely. I understand that when I went around on that stretch, and it's a very sad story, few sections are under contract. Majority of the contractors are not on site for the same reasons. Because I heard my colleagues saying we are repackaging, and I'll deal with all those issues later. So when I mention them, you can say that they are just segments on the same road, but the intention of President Mahama is to, for the first time in the history of our country, complete the road between Wa and Bolga, all tarred, within 2 years, and that is what we are intending to do. We are going to do that. So upgrading of Tumu to Hamile Road, upgrading of Tumu to Han Laura, reconstruction of Navrongo Tumu Road, and then the reconstruction, rehabilitation of Techima Nkonsia Wenchi, rehabilitation of Wenchi Solar Road, construction of Sunyani Outer Ring Road, construction of Tamale Outer Ring Road. When the finance minister was making the presentation, somehow the Tamale Outer Ring Road was not highlighted, and people picked it up. In fact, I've got commencement authorization to cover that, and in few days we should be getting that contract formed and the contractor going on site. The Kumasi Outer Ring Road, the East Quadrant, the Kumasi Outer Ring Road will be more than 100 kilometers. The biggest problem currently is people moving from Accra trying to go around Kumasi or going to the northern part of the country. You are forced to drive into Kumasi when you don't need anything in Kumasi. So what we want to do is to, just after Ejisu, do a bypass completely, and then go and over the road around Mampong, which will mean that we can cut the congestion within Kumasi itself. The rehabilitation of Bintri to Napanduri, rehabilitation of Dudu Pepesu to Nkwanta, rehabilitation of Atimpoku to Esikuma. Okay, this is all a section to say that right from after the bridge, if you are coming to Accra, after the bridge, from there all the way to Aflao is part of that. So these are all just segments we are talking about as well. So right from the bridge, after Adomi Bridge, all the way through Ho to Aflao is part of the Big Push project, all to be done and completed within that segment. So if you realize that I'll mention it is just segments on the same road. And then Atimpoku to Esikuma Junction to Anyirawase, Anyirawase to Ho Titrinu, and then Akosombo, Jikiti, Kudi Kope Road, Asikuma to Enumbuso, Palime Road, Adomi Bridge to Akwamufie Road, the whole to Aflao, dualization of Winneba Mankesim Road, dualization of Cape Coast, Takradi Road, rehabilitation of Mankesim, Ejumako, Breman, Asikuma, Agona Swedro, rehabilitation of Tema Aflao Road, again, that different section. Dodoa, Afienya Road, those of you who use that road Friday, Saturday will notice a very humiliating and frustrating situation. We believe if we do between Afienya, Dowenya, Afienya to Dodoa, it will be an opportunity to detour. For instance, if you were at Adenta and you are coming from Aflao, what is the point of driving all the way to the motorway and then coming to Accra Mall to turn around? You don't need that. So you can detour at Dowenya, Afienya, Dodoa, and then, as you know, the Dodoa Road also is not in good shape now. The previous government started and then it has stalled. I would explain to you what we are doing about that one as well. And then the Tema Aflao Road, which is on the same stretch, the Oyibi, Apollonia, Afienya Road, Enchi, Elubo, Dadieso, Akontombra, Ejofua, Osei Kojokrom, Enchi, Kojom, Pechi, Bediaku Junction to come 5 to Seshi, Adabo Chrome. As part of the Big Push program, we have also selected the following abandoned projects for which no dedicated funding was allocated by the previous administration. Rehabilitation and upgrading of Kaswa to Winneba Road. The rehabilitation of Ofanko and Sawam Road. Dualization of Takradi, Agona Junction. Construction of Swame Interchange and local roads. Construction of National Route 18, Wa Tuhan Road. The upgrading of Tumu, Chichuluga, Navrongo, including construction of a 36-meter span reinforced concrete bridge over Kanyibe River and a 24-meter span reinforced concrete bridge over Bechilu River. Reconstruction of Navrongo, Chichuluga, Sandema Road, rehabilitation of Tepa, Mabangoso Road, rehabilitation of Okwe Jasikan, upgrading of Nkwanta, Otidamanko, reconstruction of Okwe Have, dualization of Adenta, Dodoa Road, and then reconstruction of Jini Sampa Road. My brothers and sisters, there has also been the need to carry out some strategic projects, and we have started the studies for these projects to ascertain exactly the interventions we needed to do. So to ensure long-term network resilience and regional integration, the ministry is conducting feasibility studies for key projects currently in at the design and appraisal stage. 1, a new alignment of Accra-Kumasi Expressway to reduce travel time and enhance safety. And let me repeat, it's a new alignment. It is not an expansion of the existing road. It's not dualization of the existing road. This is a greenfield building a brand new expressway. It probably be the first time in our history we do something like of this scale. 2, Accra Outer Ring Road, and then the Kumasi Outer Ring Road. The Adosu Echiamanfo Bridge to connect Afram Plains and open up vast agricultural land. The pipeline projects are in alignment with the reset agenda's focus on long-term planning, regional equity, and infrastructure-driven job creation, as well as enabling infrastructure requirement for the 24-hour economy to take place. The 5th point I want to talk to you is about a modern tolling regime in Ghana. You all know that, notice that prior to the previous government's attempt to foist e-levy on the people of our country, they unilaterally decided to zero the collection of road tolls in our country. As principled as we are, we spoke against that even at the time, encouraging government to restore the tolling. They refused. They attempted to bring it back at the tail end of their regime. We were consistent and principled and asked them to bring it back. And indeed, prior to the election, we made it clear in our manifesto that we'll bring it back. My brothers and sisters, what are we doing now? To improve the maintenance regime, Cabinet has given approval for the reintroduction of road and bridge tolls with a focus on modernizing the collection of these tolls. We have done the transition that we want to transition to electronic and automated tolling system, enhance transparency and auditability of revenue inflows, improve user experience, and reduce congestion at toll points. The ministry has launched a concessionaire pre-qualification process so far. Public advertisements have been done. A pre-qualification conference was held on the 3rd of July 2025. 12 firms have submitted applications currently under evaluation. Proposed new toll rates have been submitted to Parliament via Ministry of Finance to determine the rates we are going to be charging when the toll is implemented. We are hoping that this will be based on electronic platform. There will be no physical barriers in on any road, and the tolling would only apply to roads that are engineered, meaning that roads that have been fixed. So we don't intend to put tolls on any rough road and other things. But when we make interventions, then we can toll them to raise more money to maintain that and to fix other roads in the country. The next thing I want to talk about is the issue about what is happening at the ministry now in terms of our burden. You will notice that at the time of transition, the previous government suggested that the total commitment of government at the road ministry was 105 billion Ghana cedi. I doubted that figure anyway, and I said it was around 130 billion. And I asked the ministry to do further work. They came back and told me the total commitment was around 123 billion, 565 million, 454 million, and then 431. At the time this figure was there, the total budgetary allocation to the ministry was just around 3 billion. When were we going to be able to have the resources to do all this road? So currently, the burden we have is over 120 billion. You heard the finance minister talk about commitment, total government commitment of about 164 billion. The road ministry alone's commitment is over 120 billion. I'm not saying roads are not necessary, but I thought government should have matched the awards with the allocation of resources. Reset means that when we say big push, you already see the finance minister allocating 13 billion this year alone for big push, even before we award the first contract for big push. This is the reset we are talking about. And the 13 billion does not include the allocation to the Ministry of Road and Highways. It's an additional money meant for the big push. We have our own budget, and then we have the budget for the road fund, which is also about 3 billion. We have a road maintenance trust fund, which is one of the things that the president directed we do. Currently, one of the biggest problems we have in our country is the maintenance of our roads. Sometimes the road could be engineered, but just sections are in a state that needed repairs. We leave it, and then the whole road gets deteriorated. President Mahama directs that we should, as part of reset, have a maintenance regime that is fit for purpose. So what he's directed us to do is to reform the road fund currently. Currently, the road fund exists mainly within the road ministry under the office of the chief director. And it can happen that in the whole year, a minister can decide that a district will not see any release or any allocation for any road maintenance. And rather, they will spend all the money in one location. President Mahama's idea of equity directs that when we reform the road maintenance trust fund, and I'm very grateful to yourselves and Parliament that last week Friday, the road maintenance trust fund bill has been passed, and we are awaiting the assent of that bill into a law by the president. What is this bill supposed to do? Unlike the past, reset means that accruals to the road fund will now go to Parliament, and Parliament would apportion how the road fund is spent, just the way common fund, GET fund, and NHI fund is allocated. So once this becomes law, every district in our country would have at least a minimum allocation for road maintenance in that district every single year. The same way we are doing with common fund. When common fund the law exists, but because of the way it is allocated, much of the money, sometimes 70%, is spent in Accra. Now, under the new road maintenance trust fund, it is the stakeholders in the district that determines which roads are their priority to maintain at any particular time based on the amount of money they have. So this is new, and then we are grateful that the road maintenance trust fund have been created. Out of this, new jobs will be created because we want these maintenance activities to be localized. I see no reason why in a district we cannot find or groom or create build the capacity of local people to learn how to do road maintenance in their district instead of importing service providers from other regions. I believe this will also create new jobs. The next thing I want to talk about is the the human resource